here with Alex, the Chief Executive Officer of EZPack Water. Alex, when I see what you're doing at EZPack, and certainly Mary and I have talked about it, I'm very excited to have the opportunity to talk with you today. So at the beginning here, why don't you give us a little background on yourself and on EZPack Water?
Yeah, first of all, thank you very much for the opportunity. Really appreciate it. I'm excited about it. So my background is I started my eldest life in the Israeli Air Force as a fighter navigator, was in active service for 21 years, and then additional 40 years in reserve flying combat airplanes, F-4 and F-15s. In the early 90s, when I retired from active service, I started being involved in the Israeli startup industry. Started in medical devices in the 90s, in the beginning of the 2000 years. Then in 2010, I joined EZPack, who was formed by a friend of mine, and became EZPack CEO. EZPack is established in Israel during the time of major water crisis in Israel. And luckily enough, we are part of the big water industry of Israel, which basically in the last 15 years ago, this industry managed to pull out Israel out of its water crisis. So what the world is facing now almost everywhere with water scarcity and water problems, Israel faced about 15 years ago and solved it. Israel today is a water scarcity free country because of what we did 15 and 10 years ago. And we are in EZPack proud to be part of this industry. When we start working, our main activity was to supply the water utilities and the Israeli municipality with equipment for water emergency. In Israel, it's mandatory for every water utility and municipality to be able to supply to be able to supply water to its citizens in responsibility, with different equipment in events that the water in the grid cannot be used. And there are two companies authorized by the Israeli Water Authority to supply such equipment, and we are one of them. In the last 3 years, our focus is on off-grid clean water solution in light of the major water problems that the world is facing.
So what you did 15 years ago, much of certainly the United States and many parts of the rest of the world are trying to accomplish now, because they've realized how stressful and how stressed the water supply is.
Yeah, that's true.
So give me a couple of examples of the kind of impact that EZPack has had under your leadership.
So the first thing that we did, as I said, we developed a very unique line of equipment to supply water in a case of water emergency or water crisis. All our equipment are based on what we call two-layer bladders, which the technology enable us to eliminate any maintenance on cleaning or chlorination of the water in the bladder. Once finished using the bladder, in a matter of minutes, the bladder can be regenerated and be back on the shelf ready for the next thing. We have bladders up to 24,000 liters. We develop unique stages that we put the bladders on them in order to provide the water by gravity, which is part of water distribution systems that we have. And we have a very unique line of water transportation equipment. Some of them can be seen in the picture behind me, which the idea is to be able to provide solutions that are cost effective and it can be used in a mass amount in a case of a water crisis based on existing equipment. flatbed trucks, containers. And then we, as I said, in the last 3 years, we developed a unique solutions for clean water supply based on two technologies. One of them is reverse osmosis, where we developed a unique compact robotic reverse osmosis system. And the other one is atmospheric water generator, where you produce water out of the air.
Yeah, sure.
And here, our system is based on technologies that we have developed, which is basically storing water in, storing energy in water, which enable us significantly reduce the amount of electricity we need for the system.
Mhm. So the main market for EZPack is when there's an emergency or a crisis, whether it's a hurricane or whether it's some weather crisis or whether it's a man-made crisis. Is that the primary use?
I would say there are three main markets for our product. One of them is what you said now. Whenever there is a water crisis, disaster, water emergency, that fits very well our products everywhere in the world. The other line, which is built on those products, is water supply for firefighting. We develop a concept of pushing the water forward to the fire truck so they don't have to go to travel long distance in order to be refilled with water, but rather we push the water forward to them, as well as we have the same solution for providing water for the fire helicopters to be supplied at the fire site. The third market that we are addressing is rural, local communities, villages, small agriculture to medium agriculture farms, which face water scarcity issues. Either they have water sources that are not proper for irrigation or drinking, and we know how to treat them and convert the water into a drinking or irrigation water. Or if they don't have any water at all, using our atmospheric water generator, we can provide water. And those solutions also can work solely on solar panels off grid. So we don't have to rely on existing electricity grid.
So Mary and I have gotten over the years very familiar with atmospheric water generation. We were very involved. So the atmospheric water generation part of your business, is that strictly to supply water where they're off the grid for the same critical uses as the three markets?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Good. And certainly we're seeing a lot more acceptance, I guess, of even of atmospheric water generation in the commercial and in the private markets. So
yeah, look, atmospheric water generation, except of the sea and oceans, it's the largest water reservoirs that the world has. So, and without the problem of the brine from the salinations that needs to be used.
Right, correct.
The big issue with atmospheric water generation is the initial investment in the equipment. After that, the cost of the water is very small. Mm-hmm. In order to overcome this issue, we are implementing technology of pay-as-you-use model. Mm-hmm. So you pay for the water you use over time instead of having to pay large amount of money upfront.
So water as a service, just like somebody's paying their utility bill. Wonderful. Exactly. Great idea. Great idea. So what kind of pleasant surprises have you've been running the company now for 12 years. What kind of pleasant surprises have you had that were maybe unexpected, that were just pleasant, just good?
I think the last really pleasant surprise we had, we shipped one of our solar operating reverse osmosis system to Colombia, partnership with an Israeli NGO in order to support very rural villages, which has no access to drinking water. Mm-hmm. Is really, you can't be more rural than that. And we were worried about it because you're shipping a system. It was in COVID time. We couldn't travel there. You ship a system. You instruct them how to install it over the internet, and you're worried that there will be problem.
Sure.
Pleasant surprise that they did the installation with no problem. The system is working perfectly, and for us, it's a dream come true when we dreamt on the system and said, "This is a system that will go to the rural. It's a robotic system. Doesn't need any technical knowledge to operate. It comes through."
Wow, that is a great story. So you're beginning to have a relationship with Global Waterworks. What do you see in Global Waterworks that brings value to the market and also brings value to EZPack?
I think the big thing that Global Waterworks doing is building a network of people who are dealing with water or water scarcity, and enable them to exchange information and get acquainted with new things and what's happening in the world. Learn from other people's experience.
Yes.
Because I think you don't need to invent the wheel every time from the beginning. You can learn from other people's experience, and there is a lot of experience in water in the world, not only in Israel. And this network that Mary is leading is a really good idea how to get people connected and work together in order to solve one of the biggest issues the world is facing, no doubt about it.
Very true. So here you are with seeming like a very successful and meaningful company. What do you see for the future of EZPack? If you look out 3 years or 5 years, what do you see in the future?
Our vision, and that's really the big dream of myself and my partners, is to see in many rural areas and in many places that are less developed, systems that provide good, clean water to the people for agriculture, family agriculture which has small agriculture farm besides their houses, to be able to free women and girls in many countries from hauling water every day because they have access to water besides their houses. Can free them, the girls to go to school and the women to participate in generating income to the family, and improve health of people because they have access to clean water.
We have truly a shared vision. Global Waterworks thinks of things very, very similar, if not the same, as you have described here for the future. Alex, it's been great spending time with you. Enjoyed it a great deal. Look forward to a future relationship between yourself and EZPack and Global Waterworks, and have a wonderful rest of the evening for where you are. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure to be part of this network, and I'm really looking forward to continue fruitful relationships with you guys. Doing a great work.
Very good. Have a good evening.
Thank you.